Are you watching out for that fan, Jay? Because
I hit the fan. Of course, I saw the fan. I hit it, didn't I?
it's one of them things where if it was anybody else, I probably wouldn't ask. But since it's you, I'm like,
Dude, I've done these like 8 of them. One,
Okay.
7 of them. They made me good.
They all have the same mark on the base.
Preparation for staining, we're going to sand the doors very lightly with these like really soft, squishy sanding sponges, I call them. We're going to use about 120 to 180 grit, depending on, you know, which ones are left in the drawer, really. We don't want to use an orbital sander because it can actually make the stain absorb differently. If you just sand part of the door with an orbital sander, it probably will take darker and you might see the little swirly marks. So unless you're going to do an extreme thorough job of sanding every inch of the door with a machine type sander, I would say don't do it. We're just scuffing the edges and taking off any of these little fuzzies that are on the door edges where it's really sharp. That's all the prep that we're going to do. And these look pretty good. These actually look better than most that we get. Usually they have marks all over them and like dings and dents, but this set looks nice. Very, what's the word, viscous? Is that the word?
sure.
I've had pretty good results though with this gun. This is a 3M AccuSpray gun. It uses a pressurized cup here, so a little bit of air is forcing the material out of the cup. That's pretty nice. And I'm gonna try this 1.8 tip today. This thing is cool because it has interchangeable tip sizes and you don't change the needle. You just change this disposable tip right here. I've got all kinds of different colors of them that represent the different tip sizes. So we're gonna try that. I think it'll work pretty nice. Uh-oh, why is she blowing? We need a little time to wait for this finish to dry. So what are we gonna do? Well, I thought we could clean up the shop. It's always a mess in here, but then I thought,
We could clean up Arlo.
why don't we cut Arlo's hair? And he's just brave or something enough to let me try it.
It might have been all the polyfumes this morning. I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, I said go for
Well,
it.
we're gonna take advantage of it while he says yes.
There we
So
go.
I can guarantee your hair won't look like it does right now. And we'll see what happens. Hey.
Going
It's
for the
called Punked Up,
Punked
Rockaholic
Up.
Type.
I don't even know what that is. I don't use any product,
Wait,
actually.
wait,
This
what
is
is
just
it?
something I found. I don't even know what this
Wait,
is.
did you find that in a ditch?
I'm not sure if it's hair-related product. I guess this Rockaholic hair gel is going to work. I'm all out of Vegemite right now. That's normally what I use. All right, here we go. That's a wrap on the spraying part of the finish here. I am very happy with the result. They look beautiful. That matte is where it's at. And I think Ray likes it, don't you?
Oh, I love it.
Good work, team. And we'll see if any of this makes it past editing. Eric, thank you.
We're back on the job and we're unloading doors from Arlo's Astrovan and they fit in there perfectly. So, hey, we did a video about work trucks. This thing's working great to get our finished material to the job. He's got them all wrapped up in blankets and feeling comfy. Welcome back, Jason.
Hey, thanks, man. Whoa, what happened to your arm, bud?
Oh, mountain biking.
I thought you were good. I thought you were good at mountain biking.
Yeah, not good enough.
So, how did you do that?
There was this big rock drop, and I flew off it basically, and I was going to overshoot the next turn in the trail. So I kind of locked it down and laid it down. I just went off this drop too fast.
You mean like a parking lot?
No, I did not crash in the parking lot. It was on a real.
You probably tripped over your bike rack.
It was on a real like rock descent drop thing.
Do you have any proof of this rock descent?
In other news, we do have the final window finally did come in. So they pulled through. It took about an extra week and a half. This one was missing on our second delivery, which was 9 months behind what it should have been originally from our order date. So we're gonna put this thing in. We're now just checking to make sure it's okay and it's the right size. That does happen too. Jamie, there's something crazy with this window. What do you think?
Holy
Do you
crap.
think we can use it?
You can't move this. It's
I
fixed.
have never seen a window this bad. Ever. Never.
Really?
Never. I have never seen a new window this
Let
bad.
me tell you something. Measure the corners.
Yeah.
The center is wider by a quarter inch in the middle than it is.
Well,
on
this
the
whole thing
corners.
is
and
triangulated.
it's not square
Well,
either, even remotely.
It's tacked in because we took all the stuff off the
Yeah.
opening.
No, I mean, that's fine.
Then
but
it's built like a Chevy windshield too. It's like this.
Moly.
Yeah, look at
You can
this.
see how bad it is when you take the rails off.
Right here, Jamie?
Yeah.
It covers, this outside piece by quarter or more. And then in the middle, it'll almost go behind.
I see that.
Yeah, but wait, look at this. And look at how
Holy
much it is
moly.
bowed. Well, it's bowed too, but at least a
Yeah.
quarter inch.
Just when we thought we were gonna get something done, we realized no shims, no door shims. It was even on Jamie's list, but he thought there was a huge box out here. There wasn't. It's like an hour round trip to go get some. So Arlo's making us something called a shim tech, which is a jig that'll help us make our own shims, like repeatedly the same size. And he said we're never gonna have to buy a shim again ever. Is that right, Arlo? Ever. So 5 minutes later, this is what Arlo has made. The Shim Tech 2002, which I think he meant to write 2022.
Yeah.
Arlo doesn't know what year it is. He said it was 2021 in another video.
Oh, yeah,
So
whatever.
he jigsawed a handle here, and then he's got a notch with the depth of the shim he wants and the length of the shim that he wants. And he's got the table saw set to where it doesn't cut the jig every time you run it through. See, it just passes through like that. And then all we're gonna do is rack up a piece of wood in there. Stand back, Ray, we're gonna demonstrate. So that works great. I think we were around these corners. We could basically use this till the end of time and never buy a shim again. And they're yellow pine. Dude, those are nice. What do you think?
I gotta say, I'm impressed. I have never seen this before.
Yeah. So
And these are perfectly uniform.
and they're
you
way
know-
better than the ones you buy.
And dude, we throw away pieces of wood like this.
Never. No, all the time.
So, hey,
That's
what
gonna
does a
stay
pack?
in my truck.
What does a pack of shims cost?
I don't know.
Like,
Couple bucks?
You get, this many.
Yeah, probably like $2.
$3.
Yeah, so we just saved hundreds of dollars. Carbon monoxide? I don't know, these things are going nuts. Nope, changed its mind. Pretty close, within a 16. We're on to fastening the jamb to the framing here. and I'm just making sure the jamb is centered in the opening here, like left to right. And you can see in this case, I got like a fingernail of drywall sticking out here, and I got like a finger of drywall sticking out there, which isn't ideal because that means we're really gonna have to slam this trim tight because there's no caulking, because it's stained, it's not painted. So that can be a real hassle. Let's measure what this is. Our jambs, ooh, they're 4.5. And really it would be ideal if they were 4 9/16 or even 4 5/8, because the way the drywall just puckers out a little bit where they cut it. So this, I don't know, this may cause us a little issue when we're putting on this face trim with the gappage. I have, in cases, had to go and just like beat the crap out of the drywall. Remember us doing that? Mm-hmm. So that it basically tapered in and the trim would sit tight right here on the reveal. Hopefully we won't have to do that, but dang, they're supposed to be 4 9/16. I'm telling you, that is 4 and 4.5. That is not 4 and 9. And that 16th makes a huge difference. So, I think we may have a little trouble with these jambs. They measure 4.5 on a lot of them.
The door jambs?
9, yeah, may give us trouble.
4 and 9 is the number.
Not the number on some of these.
Remember the time we got 4 and 7/16?
Yep. There was a lot of drywall destroyed.
Golly.
Well, anyway, just heads up.
I mean, there are some good reasons to not buy pre-hung doors. We don't want to get in. Hey, man, what happened to you?
I crashed my mountain bike off like a 40-foot drop. It's getting bigger and bigger as the day goes. It was 2.5 feet this morning.
It's like the fish I catch. They start off this big, and they're like this big.
Yeah.
Like, oh, when it's like this big.
No, it's epic right
So
there.
yeah, look out
He
for
fell off a
door
Water
jams.
Rock Knob.
Dude, I thought it was Tater Mountain.
It's like,
How much do you figure it's slowing us down that these jams are kind of narrow?
how much do you think I'm gonna throw my hammer across the freaking house right now?
I mean, I would say this is taking us 3 to 4 times as long as it should.
Yeah,
to
and
face.
I don't mind beating the crap out of something, but the problem is that it's drywall and it makes a huge mess. And it makes my insides crawl.
I can hear you.
On the inside, I'm having you.
Yeah. And I'm upstairs. It sucks.
Can you hear me?
I mean, we're paying for this. Like, we order jams that should fit the right width, and now I know you hate it.
Oh, I love it.
But
This is
I'm
great.
paying you to fix this problem, and
Yeah, I'm glad I came back from
you
vacation
know
for
it's
this.
gonna be an extra day of labor.
This brings up some conversation I think that
Oh,
should
God.
be had. Pros and cons between stained or clear finish trim
Yes.
and painted trim.
Paint it next time. Paint it.
Well, think about
Ray
all
likes,
the work.
Ray likes it. He caulks and
Paint,
paints
caulk, filling
Paint,
all the holes.
caulk, couple coats of paint. I don't know if
I
it's
don't
worth
do
it.
it though.
But it does allow you to hide if there's a gap.
You can just caulk it.
Just caulk it.
It don't matter. A gap is good, actually, if you're. And
Yeah, it
maybe,
is.
maybe that's the reason. But this
Seal
is
it.
stained
Oh,
grade.
it's stained grade.
So I
That's
mean,
what we
if
ordered.
you're giving us stained grade material, obviously we're gonna stain it. We're not gonna paint stained grade material.
Ray likes to paint and caulk and fill holes, he said.
Oh, good. If you don't scarf out the back, which we're not in this case, because this would be very visible, right? So,
Yeah.
there it is. Beat it up till it goes flat. Hold the screwdriver.
Is it not clipped in?
Your heat and air career is over before it started.
Dude,
Look at that.
Arlo made me this awesome little trim strip. You know, this door jamb is the only one that we didn't custom order to be the right depth. Since we used the Zip R sheathing on the outside, we
Yep.
have an additional 1/2 inch of thickness to our wall assembly that is not accounted for in this like standard door jamb, which is like what, 4 9/16, I think.
I think so.
Supposed
to be.
So what we're gonna do, we have this ripped piece of stained trim. It's actually gonna get set back with a reveal, and then there'll be another reveal set back on the actual face trim.
That's a good way to deal with it.
It is. This is about the only way I know to deal with it. And I got to say, there's more to it, folks.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Everybody
Right.
sit down, get
All
a
right.
drink.
Think
Here we
about
go.
this. This is okay to shim at about 1/2 inch, okay? And the door opens only 90 degrees in this scenario, okay? Because it hits the wall behind you.
Yes.
Okay, we got
correct.
a 90-degree opening door.
Well, maybe slightly. You got 98 degrees.
Let's just say you used a 2x4 jamb on a 2x6 wall. Now all of a sudden the wall is another 2 inches out here, and when your door opens on the hinge side, guess what? It's going to hit this.
You're gonna hit the jam
It's
before
gonna
it
hit
swings
it.
open.
It's gonna hit it. It will not open past, or maybe slightly past 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So don't be tempted to try to do that. You'll just be in a bad spot. Unless the door only opens 90 degrees because of a wall inside.
Anyways,
Then you could get away with it. All right.
maybe.
Now, hey,
What if it was only a sliver? What if we were only, a 16th or an 8th?
well, you better just get to making a sliver on your sliver maker with a hand plane. That's what I've done. You know, a lot of times they could be tapered, or maybe something's really wacky in a remodel. You might have a 1/2 inch down to 0.
You could.
because of some crazy stuff. And believe me, I've done exactly that. Anywhere from 1 inch to 0. I mean, just totally wacky. It's lunchtime. Hey, something else really cool. I don't know if you're ever allowed to take videos or pictures inside the Biltmore Estate. Can you do that?
I don't know.
No flash.
I don't know. Okay, at any rate, in the Biltmore Estate, they have these extravagant casings and moldings on the
Okay.
side of the doors. All right, they built these crazy hinges that stick out this far into the room.
So that the door can hinge around the corner or
so
something.
that the hinge point is way out here and it'll fold out all the way flat to the wall around this mega trim.
Oh,
that they put.
it's just for the mega trim.
It's just because of the mega trim. They didn't order the wrong jam. But it's really
Those
cool.
guys.
But you look at that and you think, what in the world? Because it kind of stands out. I'm surprised
Yeah.
they did that actually, but that must have been the only fix they could come up with. And they must have preferred having the fancy trim over having
the door that actually opened.
Yeah. Some guy had to make those hinges.
All right,
I'm
well,
sure.
I think you're done because these guys
All
are
right.
literally fuming behind you.
Oh, man. All right, well.
And we're blocking the door. That's the problem. This is the door to lunch.
All right, we'll do this afterwards.
It's 11:30. I'm hungry.
I know we've been boo-hooing about these door jams and installing doors, but I want to say having a cordless nail gun and a cordless fine tool or oscillating tool makes this way easier than it used to be. Because basically you're moving your location of work every time you get a door installed. So before this, we were dragging an air line and a power cord all through the house, which was really annoying, especially since you have to drag it under the door that you're trying to kind of open and close to get the gap right on as you're putting the shims in and installing it. So this is great if you're going to install doors for yourself. Definitely get yourself some cordless stuff. Makes it easier and more fun. What you got there?
Well, we got a little care package from somebody. I don't even know who it's from. So thank you to the person that sent this. I don't know unless there's a note hidden in here. Wow. Look at that. Man, we got some silverware. Well, plasticware. That's fantastic. We show some of our lunchtime footage, on the channel, and sometimes we don't have a fork. And now we do. And, hey, wait. Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
So now we can have an improved...
That's like a lifetime supply,
improved tasting. You know what's sad though is that I'm going to be the one that probably has to keep all this because you guys don't ever want to do that, and I end up being the guy. Everybody asks me for a fork. Did you notice that? Yeah. Nobody asked anybody else. Jamie, you got a fork?
I'm really good at remembering
And you know
lunch and not remembering a utensil to eat it
For
with.
now, I will have a fork anytime you need one, and
Thank
a
you.
spoon, and a knife,
Appreciate
and salt
that.
and pepper, and a napkin.
Perfect.